Welcome to the deep dive. We're looking today at the latest crypto analysis from Vantage Plus. This just came out May 26th, 2025.
That's right.
We've seen the market rally, then pull back quite a bit. And, you want to make sense of it without getting totally bogged down.
Absolutely. There's a lot going on.
So our mission today, pull out the key insights. We'll cover the market overview and the technical picture for some major cryptos from this week's report.
And the first thing that jumps out is that sharp correction the analysis mentioned. It came right after a pretty strong run-up.
Right.
It really shows how sensitive things are, even to just potential news sometimes.
Okay, so let's dig into that correction. The report mentions profit-taking. What actually set that off?
Well, yeah, profit-taking is always a factor after a big move. It's natural.
Sure.
But this time it seems it was, amplified by thinner trading volume and, importantly, news about potential U.S. tariffs on EU goods.
Ah, the tariff talks.
Exactly. Those statements suggesting talks weren't really progressing and hinting at maybe 50% tariffs, that seems to have spooked the market a bit.
Yeah, talk of tariffs that high will definitely make waves. And it wasn't just Bitcoin, right? Other coins felt it too.
Oh, definitely not just Bitcoin. It was pretty broad. The report mentions DOGE, XRP, ADA specifically.
Right.
They all saw drops over 7%.
Wow.
It's a good reminder that, even with specific project news, these bigger economic or geopolitical things can really impact the whole space.
Okay. Let's talk Bitcoin then. Huge news recently with that new all-time high. But then it corrected. What's the view now?
Yeah, it touched about $112,000, which was massive, before pulling back to around the $107,000 zone. It really highlights Bitcoin's dual nature, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it acts like digital gold, a safe haven.
Right.
But it's also clearly a risk asset that reacts strongly to global tensions and news like this.
So let's get into the technical details. Bitcoin's trading around $109,167 now. What's the chart analysis suggesting?
So the report says that after hitting that peak, it's entered a corrective pattern. And with this tariff talk heating up, it could be vulnerable to more downside.
Okay, so potential for more dips.
Potentially. But the analysis also frames this pullback as possibly a, quote, valuable push lower within what's still considered a strong uptrend overall.
Interesting. So maybe a healthy correction. What would signal that the uptrend is likely to continue?
The key thing to watch, according to the report, is the U.S. stock market, particularly the NASDAQ.
Okay.
If the indices, especially NASDAQ, stay positive, the expectation is that Bitcoin could see more upside from here.
Got it. All right, let's switch to Ethereum. It's around $2,569. It had a nice bounce from its lows, but what's the technical picture looking like now?
Yeah, ETH did recover from those lower levels, but it seems to be hitting a ceiling right below its 50 moving average.
Ah, the 50 MA. That's often significant, isn't it?
It is. It smooths out recent price action, and struggling below it can suggest, weakness or resistance. Plus, the report notes that market inflow currently seems to favor Bitcoin over altcoins.
Right, the Bitcoin dominance factor.
Right.
So what needs to happen for ETH to potentially break out?
Well, if that flow changes, maybe we get into what people call an altcoin season, ETH could really benefit. Technically speaking, if it manages to break decisively above that 50 MA resistance, the analysis suggests a quick move towards $3,000 could be on the table.
But if sentiment stays weak?
Then further falls are definitely possible. It's a bit of a pivot point.
Okay, what about Ripple, XRP? It's at 2.3513 in fence. Seems like it's struggled to regain higher ground.
Yeah, XRP hasn't really bounced back strongly. The analysis points to a bearish signal, specifically a pin bar candlestick pattern from about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and that pattern suggests?
Traders often see that as a sign that the price might head lower. So the report suggests the market could push down towards the $2,000 mark, depending on, the overall mood.
Is there any potential support level mentioned if things do turn more negative for XRP?
Interestingly, yes. The 50 moving average again. The report notes it's been rising sharply since Trump took office, and that could act as a potential support zone if sentiment sours further.
Right, a dynamic level to watch. Okay, last one. Solana, SOL, trading at $177.31. What's the outlook there? What does it need?
For Solana, the analysis says it really needs a push towards $200 to confirm any real upside momentum.
So $200 is the key level.
Seems like it. Right now, it looks like it's basically moving sideways, sort of capped near this current price.
And the downside risk.
A drop below $130 would be a bearish signal, suggesting more trouble. But getting past $200 would indicate more sustainable gains might be coming.
So it sounds like Solana's kind of waiting for direction from the bigger players.
Pretty much, yeah. The report suggests that stronger moves in Bitcoin and Ethereum might be needed to really get Solana going in a clear direction. Until then, momentum's expected to be somewhat limited.
Okay, so let's quickly sum up this Vantage Plus analysis. We've got a market correction, driven by profit-taking and these tariff concerns.
Yep.
Bitcoin's showing mixed signals after its all-time high. Ethereum's bumping up against resistance. XRP looks a bit bearish technically. And Solana's, well, it's in a holding pattern.
That captures it well. And it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it? With this mix of geopolitical news swirling around and these technical levels in play, what's the next big catalyst going to be? What could trigger the next significant move for the whole market? And, how will Bitcoin's ongoing dominance keep shaping the way things play out for all the other altcoins? Something for you to ponder as you watch the markets this week.